Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode. And thank you for giving us your time to learn about wonderful entrepreneurs in South Africa. I'd like to introduce you today to Nicole Chahounka, who's a fabulous fashion designer. So, Nicole, over to you. If you can introduce yourself, just tell us who you are and a little bit more about your business.
Thank you, Melanie. It's a great pleasure to be given the opportunity to talk about myself and my business. My name is Nicole. Of course, my designer name is Sika Home and Wear. So I'm from Benin and I've been living in South Africa for 12 years. And I'm a fashion designer and a personal shopper.
What brought you to South Africa from Benin?
At the beginning, I came to study at Wits University.
Okay.
So for a bit of background, we speak French in Benin, but we do have like 2 hours. At high school, we have 2 hours English lesson, and I always love English. So after finishing my study, I went to Ghana to study English, and I was looking for a country where I can continue practicing English. That's how I end up in South Africa, because all the other big country like America and all that was too difficult to access. So South Africa was the nearest, the most developed African country where I can come in and decide if I want to really stay or not. That's how I end up in South Africa.
So it was a strategic decision.
It was a decision to come and study, to do a master in business management at Wits.
Okay.
I wanted an English-speaking country.
Okay.
To continue my studies, yeah.
So you've actually studied business management?
Yeah. I study a whole lot of things. I'm a bit crazy. I have a CV that doesn't fit anywhere. I did banking and finance. I did management. I have a diploma in cooking and restoration. I do a lot. I did ticketing. Yeah.
Okay.
But when I have my A level, I wanted to do fashion design. But for where I come from, my parents being literate, it was a field for people who don't have, who are trying to survive. It wasn't seen at what it is today. Yes. So they didn't want me to continue to study fashion design. But I was doing it as a hobby, going to a family member who was a great designer in Benin that time. Yeah.
And how do your parents feel about what you do now?
Ooh, okay. On another note, they're both dead. They passed away.
Okay.
But other members of my family are happy about it. I think I'm thriving and people are proud of me. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Especially in a foreign country, I can tell you, there's nothing to imagine. It's unimaginable. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not an easy task.
And do you exhibit at any of the big fashion shows, or do you just have a store? How do you get your brand out there?
I work from home. I have a studio in my house, and I work mostly by word of mouth.
Okay.
I remember 5 years back, I went to AFI fashion show, and the lady in charge, what's her name, Mrs. Mosepe, saw the jacket I was wearing and was like, "Oh, that's a nice one." And that time, Vlisco, the real print, like today everybody talk about print, but I'm born with print. It's not the same thing, nothing to do with what people just say print. No, they're not all the same. People they don't know the differences anyway. The original one, I was wearing the jacket and she was like, "Oh, this is a nice one." So I thought that would be a breakthrough for me, because at the beginning, I didn't know a lot of people here trying to break through. So I was like, okay, why don't you meet that lady and see how you can work with them? So I made the exact same design in that same material. Is a very sad story, by the way. I don't know if I need to say it, but I will talk about it anyway. So I went to try to meet her. I met the lady that was her secretary, or I can't remember, and give in the jacket. I never get a feedback. And I think 2 years after I dropped in the clothes, I met her again at the fashion show, and she was like, "Oh, I remember you the last time." I'm like, "Yes, I did drop a jacket for you. She said, you know, I never received that jacket and that lady has been sacked. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And yes, and I remember that time the lady was like, why don't you come and fashion showcase with us? But I feel like people often tell me maybe you don't want to be rich. I like to concentrate I like details in what I do. So I feel like showcase is like you pay this amount of money, you want show there for 15 minutes. I feel like what if people want like 1,000 and big orders and I can't supply? So I prefer one-on-one customer. I only do customized clothes. Yeah, that's how I never get into the big industry. And I have
Okay.
few shops owners who wanted me to design for the shop, but I didn't want to because I don't have a factory. I have a I have a sewing room. I do, yeah. I don't do mass production. Yeah.
And you've never thought of using a CMT company? You've never thought of
No,
outsourcing?
no, I never thought about it. Why? Because also I don't do the same design like 10,000. I do per customer. I do like each design, and even if it's the same material, it's never the same thing. Because I believe like people have different figures and you can't do the same thing for everybody. So I don't believe in that. I want my one-on-one according to your figure, to where you're going, to your skin tone and all that. That's what try what I do. Yeah. That's
Yes.
why I never, yeah.
And mostly who are your customers?
Everybody, I mean,
Everybody.
all nationalities, and yeah, mostly it's word of mouth. So I have I'm French, so my son goes to the French school. I have a lot of people for the French communities. I have
Okay.
South African, American, I have customer in Italy, few abroad, but I definitely met them here. They get to see me at a showcase somewhere, not a big one. I used to go to small markets. But
Okay.
then you spend the whole day sitting at the stand and you don't know if you'll be selling. So I decided not to go. And also to go to a market, you need to have new stuff to show.
Mm.
And they end up staying there for maybe somebody will like them. I decided not to do them anymore. So I customize my clothes. Yeah.
Okay. And you're quite active on the social networks. Which of the social networks are working best for you right now? Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram?
I'm supposed to be more, I'm not so active. It seems I'm active, but I'm not active because I think once I put on something there, people can notice me and see it, but I'm not frequent because I don't have time. I do everything. I have two people working for me, so marketing, advertising, I do everything myself. And that's one of the reasons also I can't outsource, because I want to control and touch every single piece that's out of my shop. I don't want people coming to complain and I don't know what they're talking about.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so I'm a bit on Instagram and a bit of Facebook, but I'm not really. I can't say I'm active on social media, no, because I see people are very active. I just sit in my small corner and yeah, yeah, I'm not so active. No, 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 no.
But it sounds like you found your sweet spot.
Yeah, but I'm a bit, how can I, with this COVID story, I'm very slow this day. I can't think, I can't decide what to do next. And on another note, I just did my diploma in interior design last year. So I'm thinking of shifting a bit. Yeah, I'm thinking of changing a bit of, yeah, that's it.
Okay. And if you go into interior design, what kind of thing are you thinking about doing there?
Okay, why did I start interior design? I always love furniture.
Okay.
So about 2 years ago, I'm like, okay, I want to have my own brand in furniture. Said to myself, okay, if I were to sell a furniture to somebody, I need to prove to them, to show them that it will be nice in their inside, in their house. So that's how I decided yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be doing some custom, I would like to design my own furniture, but I know it's a big project. Yeah, so yeah.
So are you thinking of running the two kind of side by side?
Yes, if I can. But then
Okay.
I'm getting tired of the fashion design. It's too stressful.
Okay.
You know, we ladies, we are difficult, you know, not knowing what we want and pretend to really know what we want, not be accepting advice and needed advice is a very difficult market. I've been doing it for running my own business for almost 9 years. So yeah, I feel
Okay.
like I'm tired of, yeah, I need change. I'm not somebody who like to be doing the same thing. So I think I
Yes.
need something, I need new scenery. That's why I went to interior design and I'm thinking of how to, yeah. And my plan, I'm truly thinking about how to break to the interior design market now, design market. I feel like people has been indoor for very long. They need something to, how to telecommunicate to help them to redecorate their indoors. I'm thinking about it. That's my project on the, yeah. And this day you can't meet somebody and design clothes for them, so you need to still make a living. So yeah, I need to
Yes.
make a plan and think about how to, yeah, start that.
Yes. Do you find that there's a culture that people want very specific things, but they're not prepared to pay for it?
Oh yes, yes, yes. And I can tell you, a lot of people say you are expensive.
Okay.
So I tell them, you know what? I agree with you. I know it's fine. But imagine you go to get a big name T-shirt and all that. You have thousand people wearing the same thing. It's customized. It's for you. Every single piece on your material is choose with, you know, according to you, what you like and what you want. And I dedicate my time and, you know, so that's the price to pay. Yeah.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
explain to them why they should pay it.
Yes, if they're willing to listen, you know, yeah. If
Yes.
you tell me, I will explain to you. Some people don't talk and go nag about you in town. I know that too. So if I get a chance to meet somebody who said this said you're expensive, I will explain, you know, the material, the print, my print is not this, the one in town. You can test with this and this, you know, the finish, the way I do my work, you know, that's I explain. Yeah. If
Okay.
I am given a chance, I do explain.
And where do you source your prints from?
Ooh, I go home and get them. I'm from
Okay.
Benin, West Africa, and I still believe the best are there. So yeah,
Okay. Okay,
get
that's
the big stock
beautiful.
from there. I always bring my stocking because I saw the print here in the market. The print, there's the same design and all that, but it's not the same quality.
Yes.
And then the price is overpriced. Of course, they want the benefit, but then I can't use those because I will be charging somebody to design the clothes and the after one wash, the material doesn't stand, you know.
Mm.
So that will be my problem, and I don't want that. So I don't buy print here.
Yes.
I go to the market, spend time, and choose them, thinking about what can be designed, used for, and all that before I buy them.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Because the market's quite flooded with printed fabrics at the moment, and everything's sold as an African print, but
No,
it's
no, 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 no. The real African prints are not even from Africa. That's
yes.
what people don't know. We can't just say African print, but okay, it's that. I mean, today is like that because there was a time where people like big name like Rihanna and all that started wearing print. Everybody wants print.
Yes.
I grew up where even before knowing how to stand on my leg, my mother, my great mother has been using the real print. So I
Yes.
grew up knowing what really it is. I can even close my eye and touch and tell you the difference. I can feel it, I can smell it. And my mom was working with at UNESCO, but she was selling prints, you know. So you need to know. And it's not like one day lesson. You grow, you end up knowing it. That's
Yes.
how it is.
And have
Yeah.
you ever thought of creating your own prints?
Yes, I thought about it. I think I contacted you a while. There was a moment where I get in touch with you about that also. But I think you told me you work mostly for, how do you call it? I think big order from you for the design for to showcase. And I wasn't ready to invest in that.
Mm.
So that's why I just let go. And after getting in touch with you, I went to learn how to dye my own prints. But I can tell you, it's a hard job.
Yes.
So I tell my instructor, you know what? I won't be able to do it because if I needed to, to dye a pen to do my own design, nobody will buy because it will be expensive.
Yes.
It's too much time. There's a lot of chemical and products. Or I know today people that we dye with plant and all that, but it's a whole science.
Mm.
And it's a lot of times, so I'm like, no, I won't be able to do it. I finished the training, but I told them, no, I can't do this. Nobody will buy it because the time you spend to, no, I know.
Yes.
So that's where I get your point. I'm like, okay, she said she can't do small scale stories, so I understand where she's coming from. Yeah. I
Well,
did wait and try to, yeah.
a lot of people still
Yeah.
still ask me whether I'll make custom finishes for them, and they don't understand that the reason I don't do it anymore is because most people won't pay
They don't.
what it takes to produce it.
People, we all want nice things, but then people forget that you put your heart to work to make sure what you giving your customer is something they will love.
Mm.
People forget that and they just think about the pocket, like,
Yes.
I truly understand. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And
So,
where do you feel the future of South African fashion is headed? Do you think COVID-19 is going to kill our fashion industry?
no, COVID will pass and there will be new reason, or how do you call it? There'll be another wake up because I'm sure like now, sitting at home, I'm thinking about the next. And people like you and me and everybody is thinking about what to do next about that industry. So there'll be something to be done. It won't be dead. It may take time to find its feet, but yes. And all over, it's not just South Africa. We're talking about South Africa because we are here, but this is a worldwide story. It's a pandemic, not just the COVID. There's been a problem with the economic before this COVID came again and, sink us a little bit low. So it will take time. We need to be aware that it will take time for us to get back on our feet. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And do you have children, Nicole?
I only have a boy. He's 9.
Okay.
I have
And
one boy.
how do you juggle being a working mom and being a mom to your child?
Okay. Being a working mom, I work from home. So COVID is another story, but normal working days, wake you up at 6, breakfast for my boy, drop him at school. Came back, I have my coffee, calm time. I start working around 9 or 10. But sometimes I have my first customers at like 8:15 because they want to drop the child and follow me and come and straight to this. So yeah. And for my child, once he's at school, I concentrate on my work.
Mm.
And when he's out, I know I need to have time for him. And sometimes when he's eating or when we're busy, something, I'll be like, okay, I will tell him like today, I was telling him earlier, I have a meeting. I don't want you to come and ask anything. So you see now he's talking, somebody's ringing. Can I open me? You see, that's exactly how I manage everything. Yeah. So I think the children, they know you need to tell them ahead. I inform him when I don't have time for him.
Yes.
And I do my best I try to do my best. Can you give me 1 sec? Milan key.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, the children, they know when you have time for them, really enjoy with them. When you can't, tell them, I'm busy because of this and that. Me, I explain everything to my son. Mommy need to make money. I'm very busy. I won't be there to play today. I'm busy. I don't want you to disturb. Worst case scenario, they love the TV. Just let him watch his cartoon and he won't disturb you.
Yes.
And when you're done, cartoon is over. Let's go do reading. We have to do dictation. Try to spend time when you have, and when you can't, you can't. That's how it is. And they need to understand. That's how I operate. I
So
don't negotiate a lot. I'm a bossy mommy.
so what is your favorite thing about being a fashion designer?
Mm. is the glow, the happiness in somebody's face when they put on the clothes and they're happy. Yeah.
Okay.
Because no matter what, when they come and order, they feel like they want, they trust you. No matter how many times you have designed for the same person, when they put on the clothes and it suit them the way they want, you know, that's how you know that I've done my job. Before that, you just went. You didn't know how it would yet.
And what do you find most difficult about the fashion industry in South Africa?
Oh, okay. I won't really say in South Africa. What I've noticed here, people claim their identity, but at the meantime, they wear too much westernized clothes. That's something that I can't really understand, you know, because where I come from, sorry to talk about me, that's what I know, and that's what I see, the contrast between this Africa and the other Africa.
Yes.
They said Africa, they claim South Africa is the Africa, but then when we foreigners, like they said, when we compare South Africa to the other Africa, we feel like this is like Western. It's not
Yes.
Africa. Because in the other Africa, when they say print, every day in an office somewhere, somebody will wear that.
Yes.
But I've noticed here with the Kosa material, Zulu outfit and all that, they wear that only for marriage. And we people from the other Africa, we like to show off our clothes.
Yes.
Meaning I won't be wearing, if I have 10 10 weddings in 1 year, you won't see me in the same clothes, not twice. I need to have 10 clothes.
Yes.
I've realized here that I have customers who have made one clothes outfit for a wedding, and the whole year, next year, third year, she'll come back out, is a bit smaller, put on weight. No, we're not like that. So
Okay.
those are the things, and I feel that also is killing the business, because the more you make, the more you give job to the one doing, the more you sell your own clothes.
Yes.
I don't know, you see, instead of wearing the same clothes like for 3 weddings, at least you wait 2 years, or you give away. There's always somebody who needs it somewhere. And I will make a bridge and say that people need to understand, the more you give, the more you get. So if you give away, you wear it maybe twice or 3 times, give it to somebody, make something new, because fashion is not like one thing, it's always changeable. There are new things always. There's a small something that will change from the design from last year. So I don't see why people won't be doing new things. Yeah.
Yes. And do you always work with new fabrics, or do you ever use recycled or upcycled resources?
I saw the recycle, but then recycle in my country, we do use recycle, but not like really recycle. We use offcuts, not to recycle. But then, being in the industry here, I end up recycling my own clothes, because their material I love, they cost me this much, and the design were not designed from here. So I needed to change it, but because I do the work is different, you know,
Yes.
it's easy for me to entitle everything and to readjust to what I want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then we use offcuts to do, I think you call it patchwork.
Yes.
That's how it is, to do different color of material and all that. Yeah. But we don't recycle. We use some different offcut to do something. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we use it where I come from, but not like recycling the clothes. When it's old, you give it to somebody. You know, when you don't want it anymore, maybe you won't throw it, but you go to a street corner, you have a niece somewhere, a cousin who doesn't have what you have and all that. That's how we do it there. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Where do you see your business in 5 years' time?
We won't be, I don't know if we can plan. We can plan that. You can see with the COVID that everything is so versatile. You can't really plan.
Where would you like it to be?
To grow more, to grow, to be on TV, to be, you know, to be a name in everybody's name, everybody's mouth. That would be nice. Okay. But I do know I'm not giving it the kick that it needs for that. Yeah. I'm too much in my corner. I don't socialize. I don't do social media like I told you. I don't go to big events. I know there are so much things in this country like in New York and all that, but I'm too much in my corner because also I'm a bit scared of what is out there, so I'm very cautious. Yeah, I know that.
Yes. So you're aware of what's holding you back.
Yes, I do know. I know. Yeah. But then, being a mother, young boy, and not being from here, I have nobody living with us. I have my husband from time to time here. And I'm scared of having people in. That's another part of my story because of previous experience. I have people coming to clean and go. Nobody really stays in for now. So being out at night, I need to organize for him when I go for fashion shows at night. So I decided, you know what? Does it worth it to take those risks for your boy? I don't know, you see. So I decided to stay at home. Yeah.
So you have your priorities in order. Your child is more important for you while
That's
he's
it.
around.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
a great goal. That's a fantastic goal.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I see we're almost out of time. Do you have any
Okay.
parting comments for us, Nicole?
No. It's I appreciate the opportunity. It's very nice to have a chance to talk to somebody about all these things, being, and I can add that, even if South African, I mean, the industry is having problem, for people that are not from here is another story. Yeah. People need to know the challenges are 10 times more. People
Yes.
to trust you, to understand you, to give you a chance to explain. People most of the time don't give you a chance because of the history of the country. I do understand it's a very difficult, it's something I've never lived before. And I remember my younger sister came in, she lives in Paris. She came in and she was like, Nicole, how can you live in this country? This is a
Wow.
place where people always remind you that you're not at home. I
Wow.
can't live here.
I'm sorry to hear that about our country because I like to think of
No,
us as
I
being
know. No, I
hospitable.
know. That's not our topic, I
Yes,
have story I can't tell you. Yeah. It's a
yes,
tough place. You need
yes.
to really man up to stay here. But it's a beautiful place. Let's say it is a wonderful place at the same time. So I will say when you want it, you go get it, or you
And
snooze and you lose.
and clearly you are man enough to do the job because you're here
I
and you're
think
doing
so. I've been
business
here
in this
12 years and
country.
I'm not going anywhere. So
Well done for persevering, and thank you so much for your time to talk to
thank
me
you.
today. I appreciate
That's
it
my
very much.
pleasure. Thanks a lot. Bye, Melanie.
Bye.
Bye.